everybody. Welcome back to my podcast. I am your host, Jada Sharice, and you are now tuned in to More to the Story, the podcast and show. As you know, National Mental Health Month was in May, but let's be for real. We all know we should be taking care of our mental health every day. May, it shines the light on mental health, but it's something we need to talk about more and emphasize the importance of it before it's too late. Sometimes we don't do our research or think of a better way of eating and living until we have a bad, doctor's report. So today I have a very special guest. Her name is Bree, and she's an advocate of bringing awareness of Alzheimer's. So, Bree, if you can say hey to the audience.
Hey, everybody.
So I just wanted to, thinking about mental health, girl, like being in the house, this whole quarantine and coronavirus, I've had to just kind of slow down with work because I was hard on myself and I had to realize, like, girl, you are not in the office. Like, things are not always gonna, move as fast, and you have to send emails and you have to wait, and just understanding that my to-do list will not always get done because you're in a different work environment. And then especially if you living with people and then you got little ones and they have homework, like, it's been a lot. So, Bree, how has quarantine been for you? Like, how are you maintaining?
Shockingly, it's been pretty good.
Really?
um, it's given me, like you said, that time to like kind of slow down and just pay attention to myself. A lot of quiet time and learning myself, and I that work life balance. I kind of figured that out. That was my main focus last year. So I took what I learned last year and brought it into this. So that's what's made this a little bit better. And
Mm-hmm.
then just focusing on my mental health during this time, like paying attention to certain triggers or trying to exercise. I've gotten into yoga, so that's been a part of my daily
Ooh.
now.
Yeah.
And yeah, just the quiet time has really been beneficial for me just to kind of sit with myself. Turning 30 next month, I've taken this time to do a lot of reflecting.
Come on, 30. I was just thinking, first off, my sisters yesterday, they were like, how old are you, 24 or 25? And I'm like, first off, I'm 27, about to be 28 this year. But 28, like, that's so close to 30. Like, this is crazy. So, when is your birthday, Bree?
June 21st.
June 21st. We will still
Yes.
be in quarantine. Or how is it? Because you're in Ohio, right? Like, is it different
Yeah.
from Illinois? Like, are y'all, like, really still locked down? Or, like, what phase are you guys in?
For the most part, we're still locked down. They're slowly opening things back up. Like, I know we just had a meeting with my job that we probably won't be back in the office for about another month.
Mm-hmm.
So they're slowly opening things back up. But I don't think that we're quite as, I guess, on lockdown as Illinois.
Yeah.
But we're still operating under the corona still here.
Right. Still here. So, are you feeling sad? Like, bro, I'm about to be 30 and there's, it's like nothing to do.
At first I was because I had these big elaborate plans for myself
Yeah.
and my mother. Her birthday was last week. We both had milestones. She just turned 55, and
Wow.
just planning that birthday. I had like this surprise party for her, and that wasn't able to happen. So it was a little sad, but I recently just canceled all my birthday plans, so that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
But I'm probably gonna just drive somewhere nearby and maybe get like an Airbnb and just kind of stay in with maybe
Yeah.
just a couple friends, not too many, and
Yeah.
just kind of enjoy it that way.
Yeah. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so going back to, mental health and just taking care of ourselves, you have started Wellness Wednesday, on your Instagram, Nora22. And what inspired, Wellness Wednesday? And if you can talk to us about Wellness Wednesday.
I basically wanted to take the approach of, as we know, Alzheimer's, or maybe everybody doesn't know, but Alzheimer's is a disease that is a degenerative disease, which means that it becomes worse with time. So there is no cure. There really isn't any medicine that will reverse it or anything like that. So you just kind of have to accept the terms that once you're diagnosed with it, you that's pretty much the end all be all, as much as that sounds harsh. So I wanted to start Wellness Wednesday because it's giving tips on what you can do in your day to day,
Yeah.
as far as like eating and exercising and different activities that will boost the brain activity so that it'll either slow it down, help prevent it, or make the process just a little bit easier as it does approach.
Yeah. And then, just speaking of Alzheimer's, you're turning 30 and you said that you could get it as early as 30, right?
Yes, early onset, you can get as early as 30. And I believe the last time I checked, the youngest person that had a form of dementia was 9 years old. So that's a very rare
What?
case, a very rare case, but it is possible. So it's something that I'm really strong about. That's why my target audience is the millennials, because we only recognize it when someone in our family or someone we know start to experience it or deal
Yeah.
with it. But I think it's time that we start to focus on ourselves so that we can kind of help slow down the process or prevent it if it is in our near or
Yeah.
future.
I mean, to be honest, like I never thought that you could get it that young. Like the 9-year old, okay, that's a rare case, but even as early as 30, like that's not rare. It's possible. I've never
Mm-hmm.
thought of Alzheimer's as, oh, 30 or 40. I just always thought of it as, older people and they get it
Yep.
and dementia. But so this is like very eye opening to me. And it's also scary because if you don't know these things, you don't start to take action to try and prevent these things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I recently read that Alzheimer's is thought to begin 20 years or more before the symptoms even show up. So that makes it
Wow.
even more like eye opening for me as well. So
Yeah.
I think the Wellness Wednesday is something that's beneficial if people are able to, get to it. I'm doing my research, and as much as I learn, I'm helping to teach others as well.
Yeah. And that's what we have to do. Like I love how you are using your platform to do that as a millennial, and trying to reach our audience. Like how has that been a struggle for you? Because just imagine, I know I'm not the only one who just don't think about Alzheimer's or dementia and we, just consider as, oh, that's something, you have to worry about when you get older. So how has it
Right.
been a struggle, like really reaching our audience and getting them to understand, like this is real?
Yeah, it's been actually kind of difficult. Nora has been around for 4 years, but I would say the first year or two trying to reach the audience, I did get discouraged in trying to get the message out. So I wasn't as consistent as I should have been.
Mhm.
But the last 2 years, like I was saying earlier in the podcast, last year I had to take time for myself just to, I can't fill up anyone else's cup or be as engaged in my brand or other
Yeah.
people if I'm not taking care of myself. So
Right.
last year I just kind of put it on hold and just focused on myself. And this year I've just kind of been going full force, staying consistent. But so that's actually helped with the consistency and just trying to find ways that is more appealing to our generation. So that's why the brand actually started out as a t-shirt line, but I want it to be more than that. Like it won't only just be t-shirts. It'll have different other apparels and other items to try to bring that message out. So I've been working on that. It's been difficult to reach the audience, but I think I'm getting a good grasp this year.
Yeah, that's good. And it's such a process. Like I just know as a creative and just doing things that you're passionate about and you kind of feel like you're not getting the support or you're not reaching as
Mm-hmm.
many people as you want to. So it's a bit of a struggle sometimes, but we really have to believe in what we're passionate about and keep
Yep.
going regardless of the likes, the comments, the shares. Like just keep doing you and somebody going to see you. And
Yep.
it's also about the right audience. Sometimes we're trying to share our message or our brand with the wrong people, which means they're not interested in it. And that's okay because there is the right audience out there who needs, the Wellness Wednesday, who needs these messages and encouragement and, need your brand. So I encourage you to keep going. I have to encourage
I
myself
appreciate
as
it.
well. So I'm glad that, this year is going good so far. Now, we didn't really talk about it, so let's go into, Nora 22. So, everyone who's listening, she's the CEO. CEO, okay? CEO of Nora 22 store. So, tell us about Nora 22, how you came up with the name, the backstory of it.
Okay. Basically, my grandmother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's when I was 16. And that was a very hard time because, of course, that was around the time I'm preparing to graduate from high school and starting on to the new chapter of going to college eventually, making all those decisions. And my grandmother was always there for every big thing. But once this happened, I started to lose her, not physically, but mentally. So she wasn't able to be there on a constant or as she always showed up.
Yeah.
And it was difficult for me to grasp that concept because, as we know, Alzheimer's isn't something that is very talked about. So I was just confused, upset at the fact that she couldn't, do the things she would normally do. And it's selfish, a selfish thought, but it's a real thought. And as the time progressed, we eventually had to put her in a nursing home,
Mm-hmm.
and she passed away. Let's see, it's
Hmm.
2020, so maybe that's 2016, I believe she passed away.
Wow.
So after that, I just felt like I kind of failed her because of my selfish thought process.
Mm-hmm.
Like going to see her in the nursing home, I hated seeing her like that. I wasn't as um, I would say probably not as helpful. Like my mom would go in there, do all this cleaning, but I just didn't like how they were treating her at the nursing home. I didn't like the fact that she couldn't voice how she was feeling. Sometimes she wouldn't remember me. So it was just a big toll on myself. But
Yeah.
when she passed away, I just felt like I failed her and it was so much more I could do. So I took that upon myself. I prayed about it and tried to figure out how could I bring awareness to this disease. And I came up with Nora 22. Nora came from her middle name, which is Lenora. Her nickname was Nora. People called her by that.
Yeah.
And 22 came from a scripture, James 2:22, which is basically speaking about faith without work is dead. I
Mm-hmm.
have the faith that we will one day know a world without Alzheimer's, but I'm trying to put in the work to advocate to help that process come
Girl,
to.
listen. Come on. That was so good. That's a word. Okay, okay, go ahead. Faith without works
Um,
is dead. Wow.
hmm And then, as far as the logo, Nora is only a four-letter word, so I was like, maybe how can I make this, more appealing and catch the eye? And as I was going through different fonts and things, I had found one where some of the letters were backwards, and
Mm-hmm.
it made me think about it. So I chose the backward N because in Alzheimer's, you go from your adult state and mentally you go back towards your childhood state. So you're just kind of
Wow.
moving in reverse. So
Yeah.
that's how I chose the
That is
backward
so
N in the
dope
logo.
and creative. And I just think about, when we say reverse and going backwards, we think of our parents and our grandparents, who take care of us when we're kids and they change our
hmm
diapers and they're feeding us and they're helping us walk. But then they get older and then it's like the tables turn. And,
Yeah.
we get in our 30s and 40s, whatever, and now we're helping them. We're helping them walk or helping them up the stairs, and it's just reverse, like you said. That's super,
hmm
super creative. I love it. So, what are some, let me see, how can I put this? Basically, I think your passion comes from watching your grandmother go through this
hmm
and just feeling like almost guilty, because like you said, it was just you being selfish and you didn't want to see her like that. You didn't like how they treated her. So, what are some facts regarding these, diseases, Alzheimer's and dementia, and what are some things we should pay more attention to?
For one, a lot of people don't know that Alzheimer's is the sixth leading cause of death in the U.S.
Mhm.
and about 16 million caregivers in America provide unpaid care for people with Alzheimer's or any other form of dementia. So this is just an eye-opening aspect of the fact that we're not getting a lot of support from like the higher ups. So like we're pushing towards getting to Congress to pass certain acts and bills and things like that to start providing funding, because eventually the numbers will increase of how many people have Alzheimer's in the world. I think right now it's more than 5 million people.
Yeah.
So that number is going to constantly increase. And then you have people providing unpaid care, but you know, people still have to live. So we need funding in that aspect, and that's why within my brand, every purchase made 10% is going to the Alzheimer's Association,
Love
so that it can help
that.
fund that
That's
and like the
amazing.
research for the cure and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So going back to your brand really quickly, what are
Mm-hmm.
some, products and merchandise that you have?
Currently, I have like T-shirts, crew necks. This year, we introduced a coffee mug, which is with the slogan that we coined, "Reclaiming My Mind." Kind of came
Yes.
from Auntie Maxine when she had that big thing about reclaiming her time.
Yes.
But eventually, I wanted to branch out. We have a couple of new items that'll come out. I'm looking to do yoga mats, since that is something that I've gotten into, and
Oh.
it's some a type of activity that can, include your exercise or day to day, or even with other exercises. So just have a couple of items coming soon.
Yeah, reclaiming my mind. I love it. And just so you guys know who's listening, you can check out my page because I will have on my crew neck and I have my mug. So check it out, and make sure you shop with her. And like she said, 10%, goes to the Alzheimer's Association. Is that right, Bree?
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. Love that. So, what are some memory boosting activities, and foods or supplements that we can use and take to prevent Alzheimer's?
So as far as memory boosting activities, you could, it's simple as read, write, just constantly keeping your brain in action. And one big thing that I actually like doing is puzzles, and that's good to boost brain activity as well. Constantly learning something new.
Mm-hmm.
It's just trying to keep that activity of the brain going for cognitive learning and things like that.
Yeah.
And playing memory, challenging games, exercising, and then we all are in the house and we have to eat in. So even like something as small as taking a cooking class can also help, and those are offered online as well.
Mm-hmm.
And some foods to pay attention to or to incorporate would be like cucumbers, avocados. Let's see what else. Like different type of berries, they all have different type of components that help boost memory.
Yeah.
And as far as supplements, not necessarily a supplement, but you can get in supplement form, is sea moss. That's something that everyone's been talking about a lot
Mm-hmm.
since this pandemic is happening, even beforehand. It's good for a lot of things as far as health wise, but it's also good for the brain.
Yeah.
And let me think. Turmeric is also good as well. So you
Okay.
can drink it as a tea, add it to your food.
Mm-hmm.
Just try to pay attention to what you're eating and see, like, we can learn a lot by researching the food we eat. And I'm not trying to push that people become like vegetarian or vegan, but just be more conscious about what you're eating and putting in
Yeah.
your body.
Especially in our community. I mean, just
Mm-hmm.
think about how I know, like in Chicago or in Illinois in general, we were losing so many brown people, black and brown, and it's because of our health, underlying health issues that they already had. So when the coronavirus hit them, it took them out immediately. So that says a lot about the foundation. It says a lot about what we're putting in our bodies and, the health issues that our community have in general. We have to start taking care of ourselves, and it's great to see so many healthy restaurants that we have now, and so many people who's going vegan or who's vegetarian. So it's great, and we just need more of it. So with this episode, I really hope that you guys have learned a lot, and also I want you to reach out to Bree because I'm still learning. So this has been so helpful just having this conversation, and it makes me think about the things that I'm eating, or what are the memory boosting activities that I can be doing. And being in quarantine, like, I'm inspired to work out now. Like, this is the most I've ever worked out. So it's been, it's been good. But at the same time, like, I'm also making sure I'm eating better and just taking time to not do things sometimes. Like sometimes my to do list is so long and it's so many things on there. But sometimes we just need to take a break and just have that balance. Like you mentioned, Bree, that work and life balance. So super important.
Yes.
Well, before we
Take time.
go, how can the audience reach you? You know, your website, social media handles, your email.
Got it. My website is www.nora22.com, and that's 22. And on Instagram and Twitter, you can reach me at Nora22Store. Again, that's with the numbers 22. And Facebook is just Nora22.
Perfect. Well, I am looking forward to hearing responses from the audience and just they always text me about an episode. So I'm praying that, people come forth and they want to donate or they want to talk to you or they have family members, and they need to know how to care for them and some things that they can do differently. So I'm looking
Yes.
forward to,
And just
reaching. Go ahead.
go ahead. Oh, no, I was just going to say a quick thing. Next month is actually Alzheimer's and Brain Health Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
And on June 20th, which is the longest day of the year, summer solstice, that's the day we start to do most of the advocating because it is the longest day. So I'll be having a team where my activity will be working out. So if anybody would like to join, just reach out to me. And if you wanted to donate, and with that process, if everybody could wear purple on that day and like tag us in any workouts that you're doing that day, that would be great.
I love it. Okay, I will definitely be working out. I'll be in my purple and I'll also be donating. That's awesome. I didn't even know. See, I don't know much about this and I know that I'm not the only one. So this episode is so needed. We should know what month, is Alzheimer's awareness and what we can be doing, how we can donate, how we can get involved. So that's super helpful. I'm glad you made that note. Okay, this is so great. I'm excited. I just love just bringing people on the show and just the goal is to reach, to reach
Yeah.
others, thousands, millions, and billions. And it's important that we share our story and what we're passionate about because someone needs it. So I'm praying
Yeah,
that
I'm
someone
grateful.
hears this and they're blessed. So, well, Bree, thank you so, so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Of
Thank you for this
course.
platform.
You are so welcome. Again, her Instagram is Nora22 Store. So that's the numbers 22. Make sure you check out, her products and her merchandise and ask her any questions. We need to be aware. We need to know the facts. We need to know, how we can prevent this and things that we can start doing now before it's too late. It's very important that we know now before it's too late. So thank you to all of you listening. Thank you for always supporting. As you know, Brokenness That Made Me Whole is available on Amazon, Books a Million, Kindle, Chicago Library, Walmart, Target. Look, do not get me started because God has been so good. But thank you guys so much for supporting. I literally cannot do this without you. Until next time, because there's always, always more to the story. It wasn't the way that he touched me, it was the way that he talked to me. It was the way that he looked at me, wanting to connect with me mentally. It was the questions he asked in return, the time he put in studying me, willing to learn. It was him repeating what I said to get a better understanding and to clarify. It was the effort he put in to get my attention.